Welcome to the Size of Problems Bingo Game by Counseling Fanny Pack of Fun. Before we start the game, let's learn about why we should think about the size of our problems. No matter what your age, everyone encounters different types of problems every day. Sometimes our problems are big. This means that they may require a big solution in order to fix the problem. Some big problems may not even have a solution or may take a long time to solve, such as when there is an earthquake, fire, or severe illness. When there is a big problem, a big emotional response may be appropriate, such as crying, yelling for help, feeling scared, or running to get an adult. Most daily problems, especially at school, are medium or small sized. This means that the solution can be found without a big emotional response. Medium-sized problems responses may include asking for help with fixing something that breaks, telling an adult when someone hurts your feelings, or asking for a calm down break or help on a problem when getting frustrated with your schoolwork. Small-sized problems are the most typical daily problems. These are problems that you can usually solve on your own, such as sharpening your pencil if the lead breaks, telling yourself, "I can do it," when taking a test, being a good sport if you lose at a game, or walking away if someone is annoying you. Now that you know how to think about the size of problems, let's play the game. To play, go to the Counseling Fanny Pack of Fun store on the Teachers Pay Teachers site and download your free blank bingo card, or you can get pre-made cards, a 20-pack for $2. If you get the free cards, fill them out with either an S for small, M for medium, or B for big in each blank space. For each slide, a problem will be given. Your counselor or teacher will then ask students to guess the most likely size of the problem. The adult may also ask for a good solution to each problem. Remember, only big problems have big emotional responses. If you have an S, M, or B in the row or rows indicated, put an X in that square. Once you get 5 in a row, you have bingo. But play until everyone in your group or classroom gets bingo. We're all trying to just have a fun time and learn about the size of our problems. Let's begin the game. Your problem. Your teacher didn't call on you when you raised your hand. Is this a small, medium, or big size problem? If you said small size, you're correct. Everybody who's playing, fill in row B for a small. Anything in the row where you put an S or the word small in row B, put an X. Here's the problem. Your teacher tells you that it's time to clean up. Is this a small, medium, or big problem? It's a small problem. If you have a small or an S in row I, put an X. Problem. You forgot your homework at home. This can be a small or medium problem, but it is a problem that you can solve on your own, or sometimes your teacher might be able to help you. Think about a solution to this problem and share it with your teacher. Then everyone playing, fill in row I for small or medium, S or M, your choice. Problem. Your brother or sister gets sick and goes to the hospital. Is this a small, medium, or big-sized problem? It's a big-sized problem. If you have a B in row O, put an X. Problem: you stepped in doggy doo-doo. This is a medium-sized problem. You might need an adult's help to help you clean your shoe off or help you just to know what to do. So if you have an M in row G, everybody put an X on your M. Here's your problem. You don't like the picture that you made during art. Is this a small, medium, or big-sized problem? It's a small-sized problem. Crying and screaming just isn't the right thing to do for this kind of problem. If you have an O, or if you have an S in row O, put an X. Problem: you forgot your library book on library day. This is a medium-sized problem. You might need to talk to the librarian and come up with a solution for not turning in your library book or not having it on the day that it's due. Think of a solution and share it with your teacher or counselor. Then fill in an M in either row I or row G. Your choice. You're trying to make bingo. Problem: you weren't listening during the teacher's directions and now you don't know what to do. This is a small-sized problem. You could look at the board to see what the assignment is. You could raise your hand and ask for help. So maybe it is a little bit of a medium size, but I'm going to say that this is a small-sized problem that deserves a small reaction. Screaming and crying or throwing things would not be an appropriate response to this situation. Share a solution with your teacher or counselor. Then fill in an S in row B or row N. Your choice. You don't know how to solve the math problem on your test. Is this a small, medium, or big problem? It's a small problem. Fill in S in row N if you have one. Problem: your teacher asked you to rewrite something because you had some spelling errors. Is this a reason to run out of the classroom, climb under your desk, or scream at your teacher? I don't think so. It's a small problem. Fill in S for row N and then think of a solution to share with your teacher or counselor. Problem: you fall off of the monkey bars and hurt your leg. This might be a big problem. You might need to go to the doctor or at least the nurse's office to take a look, and even the hospital if you're worried that it might be broken. Fill in B in row G if you have one. Problem: you get lost from your parent in a mall or big store. This is also a big size problem. You will definitely need an adult to help you solve this problem in order to find your parent. Fill in B if you have one in row O. Problem: your teacher makes you stay in for recess because you didn't want to do your work during class. This is a medium-sized problem. If you have an M in row I, give it an X. Problem: you see a boy hit another boy on the playground. Is this a small, medium, or big problem? Will you need to get an adult? Will you need to act fast? May you have extreme emotions because you're worried? Yes, this is a big problem. You will need to get an adult's help in a hurry. If you have a B in row B, put an X. Problem: you can't find your favorite pencil. Is this a small, medium, or big size problem? This is a small size problem, so it should have a small emotional reaction. Share with your counselor a solution that you could have for this problem. Then fill in S in row I if you have one. Problem: your mom makes you clean up your room. This is a medium-sized problem. You may need an adult's help. You may not quite like it, but it's a problem you can solve on your own by following directions. Put an M in row G or N if you have one. Problem: someone is calling you names and threatening to hurt you at lunch. This is a small, medium, or big problem. This is a big problem. You should talk to an adult to get help. Think of other solutions to this problem and share it with your teacher or counselor. Then, if you have a B in row O, put an X on it. Problem: you don't get to be first in line. This is a small problem. There are other places that you can be in line when waiting to go in from lunch or recess. If you have an S in row O, give it an X. Problem: your desk partner is using the color marker that you need for your picture. Is this a small, medium, or big problem? It's a small problem. If you have an S in row B, give it an X. Problem: it's time to transition from a center that you really like to one that you do not like as much. Like if you really like computers and then it's time to go to the math center, or if you really like reading books, but then it's time to go to the computer center. We all have our different favorite centers that our teachers have. But if it's time to go to one that you don't like as much, it's still just a small size problem. You can tell yourself a positive thought to feel better, and then move to the place where your teacher directed you. Problem: if you have an S in row I, give it an X. You are taking a test for math and everyone else is done. Is this a small, medium, or big size problem? It might be a small or medium sized problem depending on how stressed you feel. If you can use some positive thoughts to keep going, it's a small size problem. If you really need to talk to your teacher, ask for a break, ask to finish it at another time, then it might be a medium sized problem, depending on what you think the best solution might be for you. If you have an S or an M in row N, give it an X. Problem: you don't get to sit next to your friend at the table. This is a small size problem and can have a small reaction and easy solution. If you have an S in row G, give it an X. Problem: your teacher calls on you to answer a question even though you were not raising your hand. This is a medium-sized problem. You may need the teacher to help support you with solving the problem on the board. If you have an M in row G or row O, give it an X. Problem: there is a substitute teacher for the day. This is a small size problem. Be on your best behavior and try your best so that you do not get into trouble. If you have an S in row O, give it an X. Problem: you get last place in a race at PE. This can be a small or medium-sized problem. Think about a solution to this problem on if you're feeling disappointed or worried about your performance or just a little sad, and share with your counselor or teacher what you would do. Then, if you have an S or M in row B, give it an X. Problem: your team loses the baseball game. This can also be a small or medium-sized problem. If you have an S or M in row I or in row N, give it an X. Great job! You finished the bingo game for learning about the size of our problems. I hope you learned a lot about thinking about the size of your problems that you face every day, and if you should have a small, medium, or big reaction depending on the size of the problem. Great job! More fun and engaging games just like this can be found on Counseling Fanny Pack of Fun in the Teacher Pay Teacher store or on YouTube.